Hey guys, it's Tina here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a makeup tutorial. I feel like it's been a while since I've just sat down and played with some makeup. So today I'm actually going to be doing a full face using KVD Vegan Beauty. In case you guys didn't know, they've actually relaunched their brand and they're 100% owned by Kendo now. If you want to know why, if you want to know the details, there is a press release available to the public and I'll link it for you guys in the description. So feel free to check it out. Today I'm actually partnering up with KVD Vegan Beauty and I'm going to be creating a look using their iconic popular products that we all know and love. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with the Lock-It Hydrating Primer. I'm going to pop like 2 pumps of this. So this is a hydrating primer. It's gonna actually smooth out my skin, make my pores look smaller, and obviously make my foundation last longer. It's a water-based primer. Now I don't know if you guys can see, but my nose is like sunburnt. I was in the sun all day yesterday. We were like fishing and we went swimming and stuff, and so I feel like my nose is kind of like sensitive. It's a little bit like dry and burnt. Now I'm actually going to apply a little bit of powder. You guys know that trick where you apply powder before your foundation, especially if you have like oily skin. This will help sort of mattify everything and also kind of like make your makeup look really like flawless, and you don't need to touch up as often. So great if you have oily skin. So I'm actually going to just powder my oily areas. That's usually my T-zone. So I'm going to use the Lock-It setting powder. This is a translucent loose powder which helps to blur and diffuse pores, giving your skin a velvety matte finish. It's great for a range of skin tones. So for this step, make sure you use like a finely milled powder, just like this one. And I'm just gonna like dust that on my forehead, a little bit of my nose, like especially around my nostrils. I get so oily. And then my chin. You can already see that my skin looks a little bit more matte, it's less shiny. Now I'm gonna actually spray on a setting spray. This is the Lock-It setting spray. So I'm just gonna mist that on. And let that sort of dry up on my skin. So both the powder and the setting spray is actually going to help sort of contain the sebum production underneath so that it doesn't really seep into your foundation, making you look oilier throughout the day. And so this is a great trick if you want your makeup to last longer. Maybe it's for a special occasion or just because you have like oily skin and you don't want to touch up as often. Now we're ready for foundation. I'm going to be using a full coverage foundation and a matte one as well. This is the Lock-It foundation in light 45 warm. So I'm just going to dot this on everywhere. Like I said before, this is a full coverage foundation, so a little goes a long way with this. I really like this, especially for weather like Singapore. It's like hot and humid, and so if I want my makeup to last, this is like my go-to foundation. Though I feel like maybe I got a little bit darker yesterday because it's looking a little bit more light on me. I'm just gonna quickly blend that in. If it is a little bit too light, I'll just go in with my contour palette, so not to worry. Actually, no, it's fine. The color's fine. I was in the sun like all day yesterday for like, what, 7-8 hours? I had sunscreen on though, so I was a good girl. By the way, do you guys like my new purple backdrop? Alfred bought this light here that I can change the color, so I popped it on yellow to make it a little bit more interesting. So this is my new setup. I'm gonna pop a little bit more foundation around my nose just to knock out that redness. I was looking like Rudolph this morning and I was like, uh-oh. You know when you get sunburnt and then like a couple of days after your nose starts to peel? I have a feeling that that's gonna be the case for me. Okay, so that's all blended. And in case you wanted to know, there's 44 shades in this Lock-It foundation and it's transfer proof. So if you're wearing a mask and you don't want it to transfer all over on the inside of your mask, try out this foundation, it's pretty good. Next, I'm going to just quickly highlight and conceal with the Lock-It concealer. I'm using the shade L15 in neutral. I'm just gonna pop a little bit on the inner corner of my eyes, a little bit on the outer edge, and my nostrils. I've definitely cut down on the amount of concealer I've been using, just because, you know, I don't want like to be too cakey, and because this is full coverage, you really don't need a lot of it. First, I'm just gonna like tap it in with my fingers because it's super blendable. So just kind of like brighten up the inner corner of my eye. So on days where I clearly did not get enough sleep, this is a good trick. And then on the outer edge, and then whatever's left over on my finger, I just kind of like pat it in. So I don't want like that sharp like highlight, that highlight triangle, if you know what I mean. I just want it to look sort of very natural. Just even out my skin under my eye, match it with the rest of my face. And then for the other areas, I'll just use my sponge. I'm also just gonna pat it over my lid just to even out that area. Okay, so my base is looking good. I'm ready to go into contour and sort of like sculpt my face using my all-time favorite. Who knows what this is? It's the shade in Light palette. I think this would be my, like no kidding, my third palette. I bought this when I was still doing makeup and wedding makeup, and this was my holy grail contour and highlight palette. It just suited everyone because you have like 3 different shades, and I used it for like multiple things, like not just for contouring. I'd use it on the eyes, the eyebrows, and yeah, it's just like one of my all-time favorite palettes. So I'm just gonna go in with this first contour shade, and then softly blend that underneath my cheekbones, and then blend it up my forehead as well. Usually like your forehead is a little bit darker than the rest of your face because the sun hits there first. By the way guys, what do you think of my new hair color? I didn't think I'd ever like bleach my hair again after like having pink hair, but here we are. It's just one of those things, you know, I feel like I needed a change, and now that I have lighter hair, I just feel like a new me. I feel like I can do like different makeup looks and pull it off. Now for my jawline contour, I'm just literally gonna like start from here and like pull it down. I just wanna kind of really like blend that all together. I saw a Korean makeup artist, he used like a bigger, fluffier brush to do this, and it looked more natural, and so I started doing it. Like instead of just contouring just this part, I kind of blend in the contour under the cheekbone and just kind of like bring it down, but really softly, just to really sculpt my face. So I used to like do really harsh contouring, but now I'm all about the more natural sort of look. So that's my tip. I'm going to use the same color for my nose contour. So just like the lighter shade, just going to blend it on the sides really softly. I usually start around here first, like the middle of my nose, and just sort of bring it down. If I want a little bit of a sort of like pointier tip, I do a V, just like sweep it under. Hey girl, you got me head over heels with it. Hey, danger. And then bring it up into the brow. Can you see how much more like defined my nose looks? So I kind of like left out this part. I didn't really have to contour that part. I just contoured here, left a space, and then kind of like blended it up into my brow. Then I'm gonna grab this lighter highlight shade, dust it on the middle of my nose, and also onto my eyelid. So I'm done with contouring. Here's a quick before and after shot so you can see how much more sculpted and defined my face looks now. I'm ready to fill in my brows. I'm going to draw light thin hair strokes at the start of my brow. This is easier to do because it has that sort of like thin tip, and this formula is waterproof as well, so it's going to last all day. Can you see how natural those hair strokes are? And then I'm just going to just fill in any sparse areas using small strokes. I kind of want to go for like a straighter brow, so I'm actually going to just fake some hairs down here. So that's what it's looking like. I kind of want to lighten and warm it up a little bit more. So I'm going to go in with this middle shade on my Shade and Light palette and just double that up as a brow powder. So whilst I'm kind of like using this to set the pencil, I'm actually lightening the hairs a little bit. Now for my eyes today, I want to do something a little bit different. I think I want to go with like a graphic liner, but with a pop of color. So I have here the Super Brow Extreme Longwear Pomades. They're now actually relaunched as Super Pomades, and you can use it as eyeliner, eyeshadow, or even brow pomade. So I've got here two colors. I've got Whiteout and Daffodil. I'm gonna grab a little bit of both, just mixing the two together to make a sort of like a lighter yellow. And I'm just gonna pat that in the inner corner of my eyes. Use a brush to blend it out a little bit. These pomades are made from a kaolin-based mineral clay, which gives it that creamy texture. It's long wearing and it has a waterproof formula. Oh yes, I love yellow. It just makes me so happy, you know? I'll do the same on this side. So this is going to be my inner corner highlight. Now I can work on my graphic liner. I'm going to use my all-time favorite liner, Trooper Black. This is like such an OG. It's literally one of the best liners out there. You could really control like how thick and thin you want your liner. And because I have like more like hooded eyes, I love the tip of this because I can just get really close to my natural lash line and create like the thinnest line. So I'm actually going to just like stabilize my hand and then start to just fill in my sort of like lash line, darkening that up. And I'm just going to use like tiny small strokes. I'm going to start off quite thin at first and then I'll thicken it up slowly. I feel like I need to hold my breath for this, you know what I mean? And then for my inner corner, I'm actually going to extend that. Okay, so I've done the easy part. Now I'm just going to extend my line out and then just bring it in a little bit higher than my sort of eyelid fold there. So I've just lightly mapped out where I want it to be. So now I'm just going to darken it up using a bit more pressure. Alrighty, so I'm quite happy with that. I like that it kind of almost connects with the crease, but I feel like it might be a little bit harder for me to do on this eye. This is my favorite eye to do eyeliner on. This side, my lid space is a little bit smaller, so I kind of have to adjust the angle of it. So wish me luck. I need to take a deep breath and pray. If you guys haven't tried out this tattoo liner from KVD Vegan Beauty, it's their award-winning formula and is perfect for all day wear. I don't have no time for no antics. Smile for the cameras. Oh, they like me now. Go ahead, wipe me down. Whew. Okay, I managed to do both sides. I think it looks fairly even. Now let's sort out my lashes. I'm gonna curl my lashes and then apply mascara. I'm gonna load up my lashes with the Go Big or Go Home Mascara. This is an extreme volumizing vegan mascara. I really like the brush on this mascara. It's got these like wavy fiber bristles that help to coat each lash. I'm gonna apply it to my lower lashes first and then my top lashes. This is smudge resistant and long wearing, and it's actually made of plant-based waxes from olive and sunflower oils. Here's what my lashes are looking like. You can see how much it lengthens and adds volume to my itty bitty lashes compared to this side. This formula, it's a little bit drier than other like mascaras. You know how sometimes when mascara is too wet, it makes the lashes clump together? This doesn't do that. Plus like the bristles really help separate everything. I'm really happy with my lower lashes, but I feel like I need more oomph on the top. So I'm gonna quickly apply on lashes, just like a pair of strip lashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my lashes on now. I think I'm just gonna blend a little bit of this brown on my lower lash line just to sort of like make my eyes look even bigger, because why not? See how versatile this palette is? Like that's why I love it. Oh, it's the best. So that's my eyes done. I feel like a completely different person because I hardly do a graphic liner. but I am digging how this is looking. Let's move on to blush and lips. Yes, lips. For my cheeks today, I'm gonna be applying the Everlasting blush in Peony. Ooh, this is super pigmented. And it's like a nice sort of like soft blush that has a matte finish. This formula is transfer resistant as well. So if you want something long wearing, this is a really nice blush to use. And you know me, I'm a blush girl. I love my blush. I feel like I apply more of it than necessary, but I just love color on my cheeks. So I'm just gonna build up the intensity. It is highly pigmented, so you don't really need to like tap that hard in the pan. And it also comes in 6 shades, so I feel like I need the 5 other ones. Okay, I think that's enough blush. I kind of find it hard to stop. Okay, no more, no more. For my lips, I'm gonna be using the Everlasting liquid lipsticks. Who remembers these? I feel like KVD Vegan Beauty definitely like changed the lip game when they came up with like the liquid lipsticks. I used to love Lolita. This was my like everyday go-to liquid lipstick when they first launched. So I feel like I definitely have to use this in this video. And then I'm gonna use Lovesick as well, just in the center. So I'm gonna mix the two together. So this is Lolita. I feel like every beauty guru owned Lolita at one point or another. It's just a really nice color. It's like a better version of your lip, a little bit darker as well. And you can kind of cheat a little bit and use it as a lip liner. Just overline the lips a little bit. So when you first apply this on, it kind of feels like a lip gloss, and then it starts to dry down to like a true matte formula. It's matte, but it's not drying on the lips because it is packed with vitamin E. So even though I always have like dry chapped lips, this sort of matte formula does really work for me. Now I'm just gonna pop a little bit of Lovesick in the center. And see how it's like a little bit shiny? It does dry matte. Just gonna blend it in with my finger. And then what I like to do is just to blur out the outline of my lip to make it look a little bit softer, and it does make my lips look a little bit bigger too. Finally, I'm just gonna dust a little bit more of this translucent powder and then spray my face to lock everything in. So this is the final look. I thought I'd add a little extra touch with some little pearls underneath my eyes to match my jewelry and my hair clip. I think this is a nice fun look on days where you don't want to be piling on eyeshadows and you want to do something that's a little bit bold, a little bit out there with a touch of color. My favorite part of this look has to be the eyeliner and the pop of yellow. I actually love the combination. It's simple, but it looks really good on camera and in photos. So that's it to this makeup tutorial. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. A big thank you again to KVD Vegan Beauty for sponsoring this video. It was actually really nice for me to revisit some of my old favorites. It brings me back to when I first started doing makeup. These were the products that I fell in love with, and I would use them like so often, like literally every day. I'd have one for myself and one for my makeup kit. So I'd use them for my clients, for my weddings and formals. So I'm really thankful that I got to partner up with KVD Vegan Beauty for this video. I'm really excited for their relaunch and rebrand, and I can't wait to see what amazing products they're gonna come out with. I'm sure it's gonna change the makeup game. Like most of their products, it's become iconic and they're the leaders in many other categories. Anyways, that is it from me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And yeah, I shall speak to you guys next time. Bye! See, no transfer. Gotta love it.